Hey, what's up guys, this is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game Heroes. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about how you can clear the Crusade Ultimate missions so you can get these tokens. And we're also going to talk about some teams that you can use for your solo legend bosses. Now, if you want to do a ultimate mission, the key card that you need to get is a turn delay card. And in this particular event, you can also get the Star Caller Warrior, which is available in the rewards request, and you can use them in your team. We're going to take a look at a team first that is comprised of 2 Star Caller Warriors that turn delayers, 2 Nighthawks for gem spawn, and also Mondo Nihil, which is a revive card, as well as a nuke damage dealer. I'm bringing with me 3 Dark Commander relics, as well as 1 for human and 1 for Dren as well. The mechanics of this particular deck is quite simple. You just have to make sure that you match all of your gems on turn 1 so that you can actually power up your Star Caller Warriors. With 5 different relics in here, as long as you make sure that you match all the gems, you should have no problem powering them up. Notice that because I have 2 Star Caller Warriors here, my team's health is really low, so that I will actually lose all my health on one hit, and that is why Mondo Nihil really is helpful here, because you get a revive. From this point forward, you will have 5 turns now to actually take to basically charge up the Star Caller Warrior again. The basic way you want to play this is to charge up enough for your gem spawners to get gems on the board so that you can actually get the battle skill for your turn delayers to go, and then you will continuously use Mondo Nihil to deal nuke damage. And so I waited a couple of turns before I activated the Nighthawks so I can get more gems in one shot, because she will generate more gems based on the number of Dren intensity. And at this point, I can continue to activate the battle skill for Star Caller Warrior, and then keep repeating this process. Now there's something worth noting here. At high enough levels, the ultimate bosses will have extremely high health and defense. So at a level 3-3, the ultimate boss has 65 trillion health, and the defense amount is at 108.5 million. So the way defense actually works is, if your damage amount is below that, it will show up as blocked with just 1 as the overall damage. However, once you go above the defense, then your actual damage that you deal to the boss will be whatever damage you can deal minus the defense itself. So if you're able to deal, let's say 208.5 million damage, your net damage is going to be 100. So we're going to see how this impacts our gameplay throughout this fight. The intensity count at which my damage first registered was at 1465. And at 1480, you can see that I started registering about 1.8 million damage. Now the boss has 65 trillion health, and so there's a long way to go for this particular team. But the nice thing is, as intensity count goes up, the damage from your Mondo Nihil will continue to increase as well. Now let's skip ahead. Our intensity count is at 2500, and Mondo Nihil can now deal about 77.8 million damage. Keep in mind too that as long as you have 3 or more power gems on the board, Mondo Nihil will attack 3 times. And so that means I'm able to deal approximately 240 total million damage each time I hit. Now this still isn't quite enough to damage the boss just yet, but we're going to continue to push on with this particular team. And we'll skip again to 3500 this time. Mondo Nihil now deals 150 per shot, or 450 million total, and you can see that we're starting to take down some of the health of the boss. Now this boss fight took me over an hour to do, so I'm skipping over by 1000 intensity each time. At 4500, I was able to deal 232 million per hit. At 5500, I got close to 300 million. Finally, at 6500 intensity is when I was able to take out the boss, dealing 374 million per shot. So if you want to run a similar team, I would recommend putting in a second Mondo Nihil if you have one. It will reduce the amount of time needed to take down the ultimate bosses. Now switching gears a little bit, if you have Bio Blitzer or you have Freedom Fighters, you should definitely consider using this against the ultimate boss, because you are going to have a much easier time. Now the team composition here is going to be key. So while Bio Blitzer or Freedom Fighter are going to be your main damage dealers, you still need to have Hell or Soul Reaper to power it up. And so because Hell or Soul Reaper heals as part of its battle skill, you will be blocked by the debuff that the ultimate boss casts, which is Toxin. And so having the 2-turn delay cards will actually delay the boss long enough to allow you to wait for the Toxin to time out before activating all of the skills. And when you activate your battle skills and you're either Hell or Soul Reaper, you will get sufficient number of gems on the board to power up the Starcaller Warriors again so that you can repeat the process again. And so here you can see the amount of damage here. While it shows 134 million by the boss, this is actually a wave type boss. So the overall damage is actually a lot higher that actually gets registered. And because Freedom Fighter is an empowered card, it deals 10 times affinity bonus as well. So you can see just a single shot has already taken the health of the boss by a significant amount compared to when we were using the Mountain Nighthill team. And so again, the second shot, while not quite as strong as the first one, continues to take down the boss incrementally. Now this entire engagement took about 3 minutes or so. So we're going to skip to the end where we're about to do one final hit against the boss, but I wanted to call out that the Starcaller Warriors were evolved to 3-star versions, their Starcaller Commando. The reason I did that is because it is a commander card, and when you evolve it, it goes from 2 times a commander bonus to 3 times. So because I'm pairing this again with my Slayer cards, any little bit of additional commander bonus will help you deal more damage for those Slayer cards, and that's why I would recommend you do that as well. Now let's talk about teams that you can use to take out solo legend bosses. I'm going to show you 2 teams. This first one is the one I am using currently. I do only have this current support card, so I'm using that also because it does help dispel Power Gem Silence. And I'm also using Tikbalang, Prince Baldir, Motley Oiziso, and then I'm using Hell to sort of fill in the rest of the power gems here. The way to play this deck is it's a little bit complicated, but when it works, it's very rewarding. So you want to activate your support card after turn 1 so that you can get more gems every time you get hit. And then you want to employ a method which I call relic gem farming, and that means you want to try to get 12 dark gems on the board without matching any of them. And so there is a little bit of a Tetris here where you do have to think about where you can do matches and avoid matching any dark gem and save all of your power gems here. So far I've already collected 10 power gems from here, and here's another 5 that I was able to generate because of the relics that I have here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and activate Ultimate Battle Skill plus Hell at the very end, do a power gem 4 swap here. I'm able to get my multiplier up to 106 and get enough to get 100% overkill against the legend boss here. Now for my last team, what I want to show is a team that is capable of taking out a legend boss. May not take it out with overkill, but you can use 1 key to take it out. And this is just with support cards and event cards. I have 3 support cards from the last 3 Dark Commander events, and I have Oiziso as well as Tikbalang from the last 2 Commander events. Now, if you take a look at the relics, again, I'm using 3 Commander relics from the 3 past events, 1 God and 1 Mystic relic to also allow me to do the relic farming technique. Now, one of the challenges with the relic power gems farming technique is you want to have as many power gem spawning relics as you can, but then that also means you're going to basically have not a lot of room to save those gems in the beginning. And so it's critical for you to activate the support card of this event right away so that you could generate gems every time you're hit. Your health is also going to be an issue if you're going to be using 1 key. So in the beginning, match as many of the non-dark gems as possible to increase the chances of a dark gem falling. Once you have more gems on the board, then you want to be a little bit more controlled with where you actually do your gem match so that you can reduce the chances of your gems falling to match on the dark gems and reducing the gem count. So once the power gems start forming, you also need to sort of pay attention to where your gems are randomly created by your support card. It is a risk that sometimes you have to take when you do gem matches, but try to, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. And once your power gems start connecting, in this case, mine connected one turn earlier than I would have liked, I just went ahead and activated all my battle skills for power gems first, then the 2 support cards for additional gems. I do have almost a full board of gems here, and with my power gem match, I can actually deal just enough damage to take out the level 300 boss with a single key here. And that's all for today's episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully the tips provided here will be able to help you along with your quests, such as the Boss Slayer solo segment. Again, thanks a lot for your support. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.